Today I'm going to show you guys how you can avoid mold in your greenhouse when you're growing microgreens, but how you can also remedy it if it does become a problem, because sometimes it will, and you can do the best of prevention, but there are going to be times when it happens and, you know, shit happens. It happens to all of us. So first things are, if you want to avoid mold altogether in your greenhouse, there's 4 things you need to do. The first thing is have good airflow. With fans, ventilation fans, circulation fans, good airflow is the key, and you often need to have fans in multiple places. And I'm even still working out the kinks like that in my greenhouse. The second thing is you need to control your humidity. I'm running a dehumidifier in this greenhouse 24/7. So that keeps the humidity down. Other things that can keep humidity down are having contact irrigating. So I've got drip irrigation on my front basil bed there. Also watering more carefully on your flats opposed to spilling water everywhere else, because then that water is going to go where it's needed and not where it isn't needed to go on the floor and evaporate and condense and humidify the greenhouse. So the third thing is heat. You want to keep a good temperature in here. So I like to keep the greenhouse anywhere between 20 and 25 degrees Celsius, 70 to 75 Fahrenheit. And if you get too warm, that can encourage fungus, and if you get too cold, that can encourage fungus too, because then a lot of moisture becomes stagnant, stays in the flats longer, stays under the foliage of flats like these ones. And the fourth thing, which is super important, is to keep things clean. So our flats, we power wash our flats once they're finished, and we sterilize them, which is very simple. We just have a big bin of water on our washing table, and you can either use bleach in water or you can use food grade hydrogen peroxide in water. It's up to you. Both work. And you just give the flats a bath. So what we've actually done in recent years to speed this up is we'll just put about a stack of 10 and submerge them in water for a little while, go do something, and then pull them out, and they're more or less sterilized. So that is just killing off any fungus or any kind of mold that might be in those flats. So those are the 4 things that are most important to reducing fungus in your microgreens. But you know, there are going to be times where you slip up and something happens and you get some. And I've got a remedy that I've used for a couple years now, and it works very well. And it's just sort of a little it's a little quick fix to avoid crop loss, because sunflower sprouts in particular are the most susceptible to fungus out of the crops that I grow, primarily sunflower, pea, and radish. They're the most susceptible to fungus. So you'll get a little fungus every now and then, and I'll just go closer on here and show you some. Where do we have some? Yeah, so if you can, you'll notice how on the husks of the sunflower there's a white, it's like they're rotting and it's fuzzy on there. It's because the husks are breaking down. So what you can use to remedy it, sort of a quick fix, I'm using water, food grade hydrogen peroxide, and white vinegar. So it's about, this is 1.5 liters, and I've got about 50 mils of white vinegar and 50 mils of food grade hydrogen peroxide mixed in there, and I'm just going to spray it lightly on the flats. I forgot to mention that these sunflower flats were just uncovered, so that's usually when you'll notice it, and that's the best time to react when you do. You don't want to spray too much of this stuff, because you can really burn the flats, or sorry, the seeds. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to spray it lightly, and then I'm not going to water these. So I just cover them. If they're dry, I usually water them right away, but I'm not going to water right away because I want this to be able to sit on the sunflowers and kind of disinfect them as best as I can. When you're growing sunflowers, if you're new to it, this is one question that people often have, is they see this white fuzz at the base of the root where it's going into the soil, and they think that that's mold. That's actually not mold. That's part of the germination process of most seeds. Radish does it as well. The sunflower does it. A lot of small seeds do it. Pea seeds don't really do it, but it's the smaller seeds that do it. That's not fungus. The fungus you're worrying about is the stuff on top, and it'll look like a spider web covering the tops of the seeds, the seed hulls, not so much near the bottom. Though there are different types of funguses out there, and I haven't seen them all, but the ones most common to sunflower seeds I have seen, and they're up on the top, not on the bottom. So I hope you guys have found that helpful. If you want to see more stuff like this, hit the subscribe button right now. Please like and share these videos with your friends, and check out my website at theurbanfarmer.co, where you can check out my one-day workshop, my online course, my book, and you can make a donation to the show if you would like to help me out. It really helps me take the time to make these videos. You can do that at theurbanfarmer.co/support, and click over here if you want to see yesterday's video. Okay guys, see you soon.